We don't want your kind here.
I'm Sadie Guinness, and I'm going to tell you what the will happen in The Witcher Season 1. The 8-episode season will premiere Friday, December 20th on Netflix. Henry Cavill stars in the drama as Geralt, a mutant trained from childhood to become a monster hunter for hire, otherwise known as a Witcher. Geralt is a stoic, stubborn, social outcast who is always accompanied by his trusted steed, Roach. And fun fact, Henry Cavill handpicked the horse who plays Roach so that they'd have a real bond.
Don't judge me.
He's able to do limited magic, which are known as signs, and he takes elixirs, which enhance his fighting abilities. The Witcher is set in this world known as the Continent that's populated by humans, elves, dwarves, and all sorts of fantastical creatures, as well as a bunch of terrifying monsters like ghouls and vampires and even dragons. Geralt's life takes an unexpected turn when his fate becomes intertwined with Yennefer, a powerful sorceress, and Ciri, a princess with a dangerous secret that some people want to exploit and other people want to extinguish. Yennefer is Geralt's love interest, and the two have a very toxic off-and-on relationship, super passionate, super angry at each other a lot, but Yennefer is hard-headed, stubborn, opinionated, independent, and is gonna do whatever the she wants. Ciri is the heir of Sintra, a kingdom that falls during a war between the Northern Territories and the Nilfgaardian Empire, and thus that makes her of major interest to all of these different powers who are hoping to use her as a political pawn. Together, Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri eventually come to form this very dysfunctional, disjointed family who often need each other a lot more than they're willing to admit. That's the basic premise from the show, but going forward, I'm gonna get really into the details of the Witcher universe, so I'm gonna be dropping a lot more spoilers from here on out. This is your second warning, so do not come at us in the comments. The Witcher started off as books written by Andrzej Sapkowski, but it has since been adapted into a series of comic books, as well as a failed movie and TV show called The Hexer, which the movie was just the TV show edited down to 2 hours, epic flop. But most of you are probably the most familiar with Geralt and the Witcher universe because of the series of incredibly popular video games. I pretty much only know how to play Yoshi's Story and Tekken Tag Tournament, so to teach you everything you need to know about the Witcher games, I called in a favor from Vinny Caravella from Giant Bomb.
The Witcher games are third-person role-playing games made by a company from Poland called CD Projekt Red. The role you play is that of the Witcher, Geralt, so that means you're going to be taking him on as he makes decisions throughout the world, swings his swords around, and generally takes on the baddies throughout the entire series of games. The games take place clearly after the books, but according to the author, they're non-canonical, and he gets a bit defensive when he talks about the stories in kind of a weird way. Throughout the games, you'll be interacting with all these major characters as they kind of clue you into the events that happen before the games start, the stuff that is in the books, through a pretty plot-convenient case of amnesia, which maybe is the dumbest thing in the games, but it works to fill you in on all the stuff that happened previously. There are 3 main Witcher games in this series, the first one coming out in 2007. By the end of the game, you are rushed into the events of The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings, which is where I think the franchise really started to hit the pavement and gain traction with a wider gaming audience. 2 and 3 feel like a whole cohesive unit, with 3 arguably being one of the best role-playing games out there. And by the end of the series, you're kind of focused on what happens with Ciri, and she becomes really powerful and very important. They are some of the best stories out there, and, no offense to the author, maybe even better than some of the books I've read.
The show is not going to be pulling things from the games, but it does seem as though in a fun nod to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, it will be doing a little homage to the infamous bathtub scene that features Geralt in the tub and very, very nude. If you really want to be prepared for the Witcher series, though, you need to familiarize yourself with Sapkowski's books, which are going to be acting as the source material for the show. In total, there are 8 Witcher books consisting of 2 short story collections, 5 novels known as the Witcher Saga, and a standalone novel. The first season of the Netflix drama will be drawing most of its information from these early adventures, several of which are plays on fairy tales and Slavic folklore. The first season is also going to include a lot of familiar characters from the books. I'm going to list some of them here, but forgive me if I completely butcher some of these names. I really am trying my best with the pronunciations. Geralt's best friend Jaskier, better known as Dandelion to English speakers, will be included. Care, a Nilfgaardian soldier sent to collect Ciri during the fall of Sintra, who winds up questioning his loyalties later down the line. Fringilla Vigo, the Nilfgaardian sorceress. Ciri's parents, Pavetta and Dunny, as well as her grandmother, Queen Calanthe. Based on the casting info, trailers, and all the photos released so far, we can make several very educated guesses about which of the short stories are going to be included in season 1. The Witcher, in which Geralt is hired by King Foltest to lift a curse on his daughter that turned her into a Striga. The Bounds of Reason, where Geralt, Yennefer, and Jaskier all are searching for a dragon. A Shard of Ice, in which Geralt and a mage Istrid fight over Yennefer. And The Sword of Destiny, where Geralt and Ciri meet for the first time in the Dryad Forest, Brokilon. In addition to those, season 1 will also feature 2 of the most memorable stories from The Last Wish, The Lesser Evil and A Question of Price. In The Lesser Evil, which seems to be the focus of The Witcher's first episode, Geralt is approached by a mage, Stregobor, and an exiled princess, Renfri, both of whom try and hire Geralt to kill the other one, explaining that to do so would be to choose the lesser of 2 evils.
It's all the same.
Geralt refuses both offers, but when he realizes Renfri means to just kill a bunch of innocent people to try and draw Stregobor out from hiding, he decides to get involved and kills Renfri and all of her men in the town square. This is a massive turning point in Geralt's life, and it's really what teaches him that choosing not to choose is also a choice and that he can't be purely neutral. The show is going to really emphasize the significance of this moment in Geralt's life by having him actually place Renfri's brooch on the hilt of his sword as a constant reminder of the cost of his neutrality. Season 1 will also dig into another big pivotal moment in Geralt's life, inspired by the story A Question of Price, which will allegedly be featured in the show's 4th episode. This story details how Ciri and Geralt's fates become intertwined. It all starts when he goes to a feast in Sintra held by Queen Calanthe. She's looking for suitors for her daughter Pavetta. All the festivities though are interrupted when a beastly knight urchin shows up and is like, I saved the dead king's life years ago, and as a reward, I'm gonna invoke the Law of Surprise. The Law of Surprise basically means that whatever the person finds at home that they weren't expecting, they have to give to the person they're in debt to. And so the king went home, found out his wife was pregnant with Pavetta, and so Urchin is then saying, I get to marry Pavetta. Queen Calanthe is having none of this, and so a fight breaks out. Geralt intervenes and is trying to help protect Urchin, but then everything gets kicked up to the next level when Pavetta is so upset seeing people come for Urchin that she unleashes this incredibly powerful magical force. Once things calm down, the whole story comes out and it's revealed that Pavetta has actually been dating Urchin for a year and is actually a normal, regular dude named Dunny who was cursed to look like a beast during the day. Learning all of this, Calanthe decides that she will approve their marriage, and her approval actually breaks Dunny's curse. As a thank you for helping to save his life, Dunny offers Geralt whatever he wants, and Geralt invokes the Law of Surprise, revealing that Pavetta is already pregnant with Dunny's child, you guessed it, Ciri. We'll also get to see some of Ciri's visions this season, but it's really not clear how much season 1 is going to dig into the powerful magical abilities Ciri inherited from her mother Pavetta, or the Elder Blood gene, which is part of what makes her of interest to so many people and elves. The Witcher show isn't just going to be a straight retelling of the books though, and it looks like a lot is actually going to be changed in the transition from page to screen. For one, the timelines are going to be way different. In order to bring Yen and Ciri in from the beginning, the chronology of events is going to be adjusted a lot, but the show will still cover a significant span of time. Anya Chalotra, who plays Yennefer, said that the show is actually going to be following her from when she's 14 to when she's 77. So we're still going to get a long timeline, it's just going to be an adjusted one. Geralt and Yennefer's first meeting is also going to be completely different, it seems. In the books, Geralt and Yen meet in The Last Wish when he goes to her for help curing Dandelion after he's injured by a djinn. But based on the trailer, it seems like the two actually get acquainted in the show during the Feast of Beltane, which in the books is the last time they saw each other in the short stories. So confusing, I know. Even if we assume Geralt and Yen meet during Beltane, that doesn't mean that the events of The Last Wish aren't going to be included in the show. We know there's going to be a djinn this season, and even a few other characters from that story have been cast, so we'll probably just see that stuff play out in a different way. We'll also get to see the fall of Sintra way sooner than expected. Sintra doesn't fall in the books until the very last story in Sword of Destiny, and even then, we're not actually experiencing the fall of Sintra firsthand, only hearing about it through Dandelion's retelling. By moving up the fall of Sintra, not only are we gonna get to see what is probably gonna be a really epic, very emotional battle scene.
Find Geralt.
but it also allows us to explore a lot more of Ciri's time between leaving Sintra and reuniting with Geralt when he finally accepts that she is his destiny and he can start training her as a Witcher and exploring all of her powers and all the cool stuff that they do in the Witcher saga. There's also going to be a lot of new stuff included in this season, which is super exciting for book readers. For one, we're actually going to get to explore Yennefer's backstory. In the books, we really don't know that much about Yennefer's past other than the fact that she used to be a hunchback before she became a sorceress. But the trailer clearly shows that we're gonna get to explore this period in Yennefer's life and when she was a student at Aretuza. That's the school for sorceresses. By seeing Yen's time as a teenager, this is also maybe how we're gonna get to see a lot of the characters that we wouldn't necessarily have met until later on, including Tissaia, Triss Merigold, Sabrina, and even Vilgefortz, who becomes one of the main antagonists in this storyline. So no matter how he comes up into this season, keep your eye on him, he sucks. Ciri's also getting a new friend, Dara, who is a completely original character. Ciri meets Dara after she escapes the fall of Sintra, and the show added him in part just so that Ciri would have someone to talk to on this journey. But Dara is also going to help further Ciri's emotional development because he comes from a completely different world and can offer all of these different perspectives on situations that might help challenge Ciri's view of the world and help her grow and mature. There are some fans who are already theorizing that Dara isn't just going to be a normal human boy and that he might actually be a Doppler, like a shapeshifter. Right now, those theories feel pretty unfounded. If anything, I actually worry that Dara's doomed to be killed by the Dryads, mirroring that moment in the books when Geralt finds the body of a young boy before he meets Ciri for the first time. I'm so excited to see how Netflix is going to adapt the Witcher universe for TV. Let us know what stories you're hoping to see in Season 1 in the comments below, and please check out more of our What the F videos.